Thank you. Thank you so much, Leslie. First of all, I am not a doctor. I joined Aster DM Healthcare almost a year ago. Before coming to Aster, I was a part of Marriott International for 12 years. I was into hospitality, and that is where I got picked up from to handle the service excellence at Aster DM Healthcare. The second thing is that I did not have any presentation. I wanted to talk because, as Arun was telling rightly and Dr. Anna was telling rightly, that covering service excellence in 15 minutes is an impossible task. So I would rather brief you about what service excellence is all about in the world of Aster. To start off with, I will tell you an example. In the month of May 2022, the Department of Wellness, where in most of the hospitals we actually have health checkup that happens. What happens is patients come after an NPO morning at 8 o'clock. They give their vitals, wait till 9:30 possibly, get all their reports, go to counter after counter or doctors after doctor to get the valuation done. They have their lunch in the evening, 4:35, 5:36, they go home. Now, the team of service excellence have the opportunity to collect, evaluate, analyze, and research on the feedbacks that come. And here is such an example where I'm going to show that in the month of May of 2022, we had received 125 feedbacks about wellness. Now, when it comes to service excellence, we all have the classification to calculate our net promoter score, which definitely is the promoters minus detractors, where the passive is something where 7 and 8 becomes something that gets kept aside. So approximately, say 30% of our patients marked us 7 and 8 in the month of May. Now, we picked up our phones, called these patients who had the tendency to mark us 7 and 8, and most of them said was that the morning time, 8 o'clock we coming, 9:30 we going, 9:30 we getting the results of the reports. This 1.5 hours time which you're making us wait is something which is not acceptable. This is something where you need to look into and do something to ensure that this wait time is productive for patients. If you go to MedCity today, in the morning, you will find 3 musicians playing outside wellness. You will see people playing, one person playing a tabla, one person playing a violin, and another person playing a flute. This 1.5 hour, your patients who are waiting outside the wellness gets distracted, and patients doesn't feel that they are waiting. Now, in the month of June, we checked the number of passive or the percentage of passives. Again, 20% of the patients did mark a 7 and 8. We called them, we checked, they told again, you may play music, but this 1.5 hour wait is something which we cannot accept. We introduced complimentary breakfast. Everyone who comes in the morning at 8 o'clock after giving their vitals, they got complimentary breakfast from the most famous restaurant in our hotel called the Paragon. We thought everything is arrested. Next month we checked, 13% was still detractors. We made all our associates in the front office team for a week go to wellness to do their health checkup and share their experiences. Everyone shared the same experience that this 8 to 9:30 is a time where we are seeing other patients in the hospital who are in their wheelchair structures, in pain, where we coming for the purpose of wellness, mentally we are seeing negativity all around, which is not a nice scene to see. In the month of July, we introduced a houseboat. You see 40 acres of land covering 180 degrees of water. Every customer who comes for a wellness checkup at morning 8 o'clock, giving their vitals, goes for a 90-minute houseboat ride, and the houseboat is serving breakfast for patients. Now, if you see the feedback of wellness, it is hardly 2% passives and 0 detractors. If you see the volume of customers, it definitely has increased at least by 50%. Now, when it comes to service excellence, it is all about out-of-the-box thinking. How are you able to think beyond clinical excellence? How are you able to think beyond operational excellence, beyond nursing excellence, and beyond everything where a tendency of a patient is there, where the patient will want to look for where is the 11 out of 10 marking that I can rate for your staff, for your associate, or for the facilities that you're providing. The second thing I want to talk about is digitalization. So in this era where technology is taking over almost everything in healthcare, still the basic element remains, like Arun and Dr. Anna was telling, is empathy, how to deal with customers. Are our staff aware of what feedbacks our customers are giving. For example, the top 5 complaints of any healthcare first includes OP waiting time. As an owner, as a leader of an organization, are you aware which OP, which doctor has the most waiting time complaint? I will tell you an example. On the Friday every week, when we analyzed the OP waiting time of Aster MIMS Calicut, we found that between 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, amongst all the complaints across all the departments, OP waiting time of pediatrics at that hospital was approximately 25 minutes. Honestly speaking, 25 minutes at this time is not a huge waiting time. We know that. However, for a pediatric, 25 minutes is extremely costly because the bystander, the parents, are concerned of that 25 minutes. Aster introduced a program called Hobby Heals, asked every employee of that hospital, what are your hobbies? A security guard, 13 years of experience, his name is Ratish, came up telling that, I like doing magic. We gave him a platform every Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, he performs magic trick at pediatrics. Wait time is still 25 minutes, but do we get feedbacks about that 25 minutes? We do not. Are the customers happy? The most happy customers are coming between 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. How are we trying to ensure that we think out of the box to elevate a patient experience, elevate a customer experience, is what service excellence is all about. If you see in 6 months' time, let's assume a customer is putting the hospital name where you are working in Google. They show on directions, possibly they are coming to consult a neurosurgeon. Google will tell them, sir, listen, the rating of the hospital where you're going to is 4.5. I have a better hospital with rating of 4.6. Why do you want to go here? Why don't you go there? So, understanding what our customers are telling in different modes of feedback channels. We have 9 modes of feedback collection at Aster. Starting with a QR code, an SMS, a WhatsApp, an email, a website, a post-discharge calling or a post-consultation calling, a QR code published almost all across the hospital. Now, if you see most of the hospital, your NPS will be shooting star high, where your feedback collection mode would be something on the ground or on QR code. Wherein you analyze the feedbacks that comes on an SMS, your NPS would be approximately between 40 to 45. That means that what analysis are you doing to ensure you come up with process-driven solutions for service excellence? In Aster, if a customer waits for more than 30 minutes for an OP, by any chance, escalations go to the OP supervisor, telling, you know what, this customer is waiting in your OP for more than 30 minutes. He goes, understands, and lets the customer know that how long he has to wait and what is the reason for waiting. He, if joined yesterday in Aster, is empowered to give the service recovery for the patient if OP waiting time exceeds 30 minutes. He or she doesn't have to consult his supervisor or a manager to understand what is he empowered to do. Because on the day 1 of joining, we let associates know that what are you empowered if there is a delay in discharge, if a patient is not happy with food and beverage, if there is an OP waiting time, if there is delay in insurance approval or XYZ, which are the top 5 concerns which any healthcare organization may have. So coming to the last point is all about understanding service excellence from the common grounds language. I have to let you know about Farhan Yazin, who is Vice President of Aster India. Every single employee, before saying a no to a customer, need to take his approval. He handles 8 hospitals, 250 labs and pharmacies. But if you have to say no to a customer, it has to be with the permission of Farhan. For example, if a customer tells me that I want the moon, and if I call Farhan and tell Farhan, I'm sorry, I'm denying the moon to the patient, Farhan will ask, did you call NASA or ISRO? That is the level of leadership which Aster has, which I'm letting you know because it is from the leadership, like Dr. Anna mentioned, that service excellence come. You will have a department possibly called service excellence, but if they are only absorbing feedbacks, not doing a kappa, not doing an analysis, and letting it just happen as a mechanism to understand what are the detractors, that will not cause any help to anyone. A nurse call bell to everything we have digitalized, wherein if in 1 minute time no nurse responds to the call bell, escalation goes via WhatsApp to the chief nursing officer. When technology is so fast-paced, where we have a possibility to adapt it across every single element of service excellence, it is always good that we ensure that we digitalize things and ensure we create a system, then replacing our leaders, replacing our staff to expect better results. So creation of a system is the first step to service excellence. And this is all what I had to say in my session. Any doubts, you can please let me know.